So, I've just recently got done watching the Idaho Murders, the docu-series on Netflix, and these are some thoughts I have on it. I know a lot of people are sympathetic and they want to commiserate and all this type of stuff, but bring a bit more of a balanced approach. And a lot of people, okay. So basically, what happened? If you don't know what happened in the Idaho murders, some guy named Brian Koberger killed four young ladies, young females, in a little house they all stayed in together, very close to the college campus. Why he did it, we don't know. I got some theories that I'll share with people later on, and we'll try to get to the bottom of it. So the biggest issue that these women faced was the fact that they were not with any men. It was one dude who was there. It was a young lady named Xana, and she was with a guy named Ethan. And these people were extremely drunk, especially Xana. She was actually more drunk than her boyfriend, but her boyfriend just happened to be off of Adderall as well. So he was no use in this situation at all. I mean, the guy died in his sleep. You feel what I'm saying? He was not a factor at all. So that's the biggest issue. They had no men in the house. You know, the guy Ethan, he doesn't even count because he's not a factor. He's off of drugs. He's drinking alcohol. He wants to do what he wants to do. He's tripping. This is why alcohol is such a big no-no. Yeah, so that's the biggest issue. They want to live like modern women. They want to be separate from men. They want to stay away from their families. They want to live by themselves. The females think they're slick. What they're trying to do when they're living by themselves and going off with just all girls or just living by themselves, they're trying to, it's basically like a brothel. You see what I'm saying? It's basically just a bunch of men coming through and smashing them. They're whores. That's, or they're doing a bunch of drugs and drinking alcohol and engaging in this type of behavior. And they don't want anybody to see it. They don't want anybody, with morals to sit there and say, like, you're making the wrong decisions in life. Stop drinking alcohol. Stop being a degenerate. Stop doing drugs. Stop having all this sex. Stop cheating on your boyfriend. They don't want people to say that, and they don't want their families to look down on them. So they get a house by themselves, stay close to campus, and they do it like that. So that was the biggest issue that the girls had going on. Feminism, wanting to be separated from men, not wanting to be under their father or some other man. And they suffered greatly because of it. They all got smoked, except two. And we can get into one individual in particular. Her name is Dylan Mortison. She is absolutely incompetent, utterly incompetent. But we can get into her later. So Xana, so she is a real savage, a real warrior. I don't particularly feel bad for any of them except Xana, because I feel like Xana had a bit of integrity. I feel like she had a bit of morality. Now, I don't know how much morality she could have when she's hanging around dirtbags and people who drink alcohol, and she herself is drinking alcohol, and her man is drinking alcohol, and also her man is effeminate, and he's like dancing like a bitch and doing all this shit. You feel me? So, I mean, I don't know. For some reason, I like her. I think it's because she fought the hardest. Like when Buddy came in that room and tried to smoke him, she wasn't going for it. She got stabbed 67 times. 67 times. She got it worse than anybody. She got it worse than the initial person that he wanted to get. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's why I like Xana so much. But yeah, alcohol is not a good thing. People need to stop drinking alcohol. If you're drinking alcohol, stop drinking alcohol. Stuff like this can happen. And yeah, that's why I like Xana so much. And yeah, she was with an effeminate male, and she was making some poor decisions. They were out partying. They were at a family event for Ethan, excuse me. And then they came back and they went to a different party at some sorority. So Don't do drugs. Okay, so yeah, so Xana, she got it the worst, and she has. I know masculinity in women is typically not what we want, but when a broad has a level of gangster in her where she's fighting a nigga back with a knife, like when she was fighting the guy back with the knife, the Brian guy, she was literally like she had lacerations on her hands because she was grabbing the knife while this nigga was trying to stab her. Like, yo, she is a savage. She's a warrior. And I like that. I like that. So I also wanted to throw that in there. So yeah, so a lot of men will talk about, oh, I don't like a masculine woman. I don't know if that was her chief personality, like being masculine. Probably so, and it's unfortunate because like who wants to deal with a masculine broad? But you know, a broad with some underlying masculinity, like she's largely feminine, but underneath that femininity is some real gangster, some real harsh and vicious. It's, it's pretty respectable. It's pretty respectable and respectful, because she had the greatest chance of survival and winning in this scenario. So it certainly has its benefits, that masculine personality. So the Madison Mogen broad. So Madison Mogen, she was a 21-year-old, I believe. I think she had a very self-centered personality. I'm not gonna lie to you. And she was also forward in white supremacy, which I don't like. And one of the theories on why Bryan Kohberger killed all of them, or really he was specifically targeting her. Of course, he killed everybody else, but he really wanted her the most. One of the theories is that he went to the restaurant that she worked at indiscriminately, and then she was his waiter, and he tried to shoot his shot, and she brutally rejected him. Honestly, from taking a look at how like she is, and like her behavior, and how she feels like she's the star and the center of attention, and this ego she has on her, this entitlement she has on her, I wouldn't be surprised if she did shoot him down brutally, just because he's such a weirdo and such an awkward turtle loser type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like she probably felt offended that he was even talking to her. And then she shot him down extremely hard. And he was like, you know what, bitch, I'm coming back and I'm gonna kill you. And, he ended up making her disappear, like the world's greatest magic trick. So that's one of the theories on that. But the reason I say she has a very self-centered personality is because when you go to her Instagram, a lot of her photos are just her and her face and her body, and all this makeup and all this low self-esteem stuff. And she's dyeing her hair, and she's doing all this stuff. She's also forward in white supremacy. So, like, when I see a personality like that that's frail and really weak, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if. And also, she wants to be the center of attention. She wants to be all popular and in a mix and all this type of stuff. I'm like, man, she probably did disrespect Buddy. She probably did disrespect Buddy. And, he wasn't going for it. So that is Madison Mogen. And people, I mean, they tried to depict her as this angel and this social butterfly and this person with just all this love inside her and all this type of stuff. Oh man, I don't know about all that. People start to die and they start acting as though they're just great people. Highly doubt it. In fact, I know it wasn't, because actually, she was the drunkest out of everybody. Everybody who went out that night, she was the drunkest. And this is factual. Her BCP or whatever it is, that rating, that measurement that they get of when you're drunk after you die, hers was the highest. And then Xana's was the second highest. And it's crazy because Xana's was the second highest and she fought the most viciously. You know what I'm saying? People were talking, some of the research that I was doing was trying to suggest that um, the girl Madison was trying to fight back. I highly doubt it. I don't think any of them were trying to fight back except Xana. She was really like that. So another one of the theories as to why this guy, Bryan Kohberger killed them is because they were trying to say that, you know, he has this psychosexual obsession with Madison because she's so just socially out there. She has a dating life. She's this butterfly. She's a great person. And him, I did a bunch of research on him, and he's none of that. You know, he's awkward. He's a loser. He has no friends. He has a very negative, harsh view on women. I don't have a negative view on women, but I have certainly a harsh, realistic view on women. And they're saying that's the reason he took her out, because she's just better than him. And I don't believe that, and I don't think that that's a realistic assumption or theory. Thus, you know, he was in college himself. He went to WSU, and these people went to Idaho College. So, I mean, since he's in college, it's gonna be other people there at the college who are cool, who are just like Madison, who have her personality, who are bubbly and open and inviting and all this type of stuff. Like, she's not special at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are popular people everywhere. And male popular is certainly different from female popular, but she's not special. Like, it's gonna be popular people at his school. So, in as much as that's the case, I don't think that he felt any particular way about her just because she's popular when it's a bunch of popular people at his school. You see what I'm saying? Why didn't you just take somebody out from his school? I don't know. Maybe he felt like the chance of getting caught was lower at Madison school. I don't know. But the theory that I think is true is the one I stated earlier, where Buddy got rejected brutally, and he was like, nah, this is the last time. It was the last straw. And like I said before, he had a negative view on women. He was one of these fresh and fit guys, you know, these real women hating guys. And it was exposed in some of his behavior. Like, like, he was quite an arrogant person. He used to have like debates with his professors, with his female professors. He used to talk down to the undergraduate students. He used to give the undergraduate students bad grades on purpose, like the females. He used to stalk the broads, you know, stalk them all the way to their cars, to the point where the teachers had to start walking some of the hoes to their cars. So, you know, he was a very strange, psychotic person. And you know, it's just unfortunate that he doesn't feel as though like he's the one who needs to improve. And I mean, the broads aren't anything, you know, we're mostly dealing with average broads. They're nothing, but you're also nothing as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no skills, you know what I'm saying? And he's a very arrogant person to sit there and go back and forth with his professors that have been studying whatever criminology for years, for decades, and you've just got on the boat studying it for a couple of years. Like, thinking that you can contend with a person like that is pretty hubris. Like, you are pretty hubristic. I think that's the word. So yeah, this guy was definitely arrogant. So yeah, I want to talk about Bryan a bit more. I don't think I took many notes on him, but I did read quite a bit about him. So I'll just recount what I remember from reading. So as a young man, he was a very overweight, fat guy, and he was fat his entire life up until his senior year in high school. And his senior year in high school, he lost 100 pounds. Right, this is a serious person. You know, this is an extraordinary, extreme, like type of operating on the ends of the spectrum type of person. Because to lose 100 pounds in less than a year, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty substantial. You know, you have to really be putting in the work. Why he lost the weight, I'm not sure. I mean, it was it was for women. Like in his case in particular, it was for women. But you know, other people may have lost all the weight because they just want to feel better about themselves. But his some of his childhood friends described him as an awkward person. I mean, yeah, we already knew that. The guy is strange. He stalks bras. You know, he blocked. That was another thing he was doing. He was hopping in front of the door. Like it'll be like a group of females having a study group, whatever, in a enclosed space with a door, and then he'll hop in front of the door and then block them from getting out. It's like, bro, you're a weirdo. And then he'll stay right there. He stay right there until one of them asks to leave. You know what I'm saying? So he's a real controlling, like dictator type of personality. And he got like this from him being overweight. When he was overweight, he was getting bullied and stuff like that. And his friend said that after he got bullied, that's when that switch really switched. You feel me? He became aggressive. He became dominant. He started putting people in headlocks. You know, he started giving people nuggies. You feel me? He turned into a real monster. And people with this controlling type of personality, they get it from being controlled. Either being controlled or, what was that second one? Being controlled or just having no control as a very young person. So living in a very chaotic, problematic, unpredictable way. That'll make you want to have control because you didn't have any control. So in both scenarios, people are wanted to control and dictate and dominate others because they didn't get to dictate and dominate anything. So that's why his personality became one of like aggression and like, you know, bro's a real psychopath, and he's also very combative. I seen a video of him when he was getting, I think this was in the docuseries. It had to have been in the docuseries. So he got pulled over by the police, and they were asking for his ID and stuff like that. Matter of fact, they weren't asking for his ID. They were asking for a phone number such that they can get his phone number to put it on the ticket so they can call him, whatever. And he was like, why? Yeah, why? I was like, wow, this guy here, this nigga, like you're getting that defensive over the police asking you for a phone number. But he was a person who studied criminology, so maybe he knew something I didn't. Maybe they could, you know, figure something out by having your phone number. And they actually did figure something out about having his phone number that, you know, ultimately led to him going to prison and getting 4 life sentences. So like younger friends of his would, you know, say he was an awkward, socially inept, strange character, not smooth whatsoever, not focused on self-improvement at all, you know, just eating. And really Brian Kohlberger is just a result of a weak society, a weak like family structure, a weak society, a weak culture, things like this, you know. And in a society wherein dudes are they're not smashing, this stuff is gonna happen, you know. Like bro is an angry person. He's a person who bottles things up, and you know, you never know when these types of people are going to strike. This is why people should start respecting people more. And also like the females, y'all need to start respecting men more, because we might Brian Kohlberger. You feel what I'm saying? Like these bras clearly thought they were safe, and they weren't. They weren't at all. Like, I mean, he got into the house through the sliding door that they didn't even lock. But to be fair, I'm pretty sure the sliding door was broken. But just to be living with that level of irresponsibility and just carelessness is insane to me as a woman. Like, 6 of y'all in here, 6 of y'all living here, and no men around, and y'all are just, oh, whatever, we'll just leave it alone. And friends and family said that, not friends and family, but yeah, friends who lived around the area said that they would often leave that sliding door unlocked. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's easy for Brian Kohberger to get in there. So anyways, females need to show men more respect, because we might just kill you. So definitely show men more respect. So yeah, Brian, he's a strange character, and that's why he has that controlling personality. You know, he was dominated and controlled as a young man. So yeah, I'm trying to think of something else I may have. Me personally, I'm really not too sorry. I don't feel too bad about these bras going. I mean, I don't think they were good people. I literally don't care. I don't care about Brian. I don't care about the bras. I don't care about any of these people. I think they're all bad for society. Of course, Brian is a bit more extreme, but I'd like to understand his motive. Like, I'd like to know why he did it, and he hasn't yet dropped it. He hasn't yet came out with a reason as to why he did what he did. Will we ever know? Maybe not. But yeah, you bras better chill. And I'm talking like this based off of that one theory, wherein he approached the girl at the restaurant that she worked at, Madison, and then he took her out. Okay, I don't know if I went into it. I don't believe I did. So the reason that I think this is a theory that's substantial and real and realistic and reasonable is because when he committed the crime, so the house is 3 stories. He jumped on the second floor. That's where the sliding door is. So he jumped to the second floor. He climbed he got to the second floor, came through the sliding door. And so now he's on the sliding door. And there's 2 sets of females that live on this second floor. He passed both of them up, went straight to Madison's room. So he went straight. He got to the 3rd floor, went straight to Madison's room, and then, you know, caught those 2 bodies. Madison and Kaylee were in the bed together, and Kaylee really, you know, she couldn't even do nothing. She could have did something, but she didn't really have anywhere to run or go. You know what I'm saying? Like, her only option was to fight, and people were saying that she fought. I was looking at the research, and they were trying to say that she fought, but I highly doubt it. I really think these bras were, I literally don't think any of them were fighting back except Xana. I really think she was fighting back. She strikes me as a fearsome type. So, yeah. And also, another thing that was fascinating was that, so when he was stalking them, they said he stalked these bras. He showed up to this area, like his phone pinged the 5G data, picked up his phone, satellite service at that particular location at least 20 times. So he was really studying it. And when he was doing his research and when he was investigating on when he was strategizing on how to break into the house, one thing that he found out was that Madison's room, you can see Madison's room clearly. Like, it's a big window right above that sliding door that you can see where Madison's room is. And her room is very, you're gonna know it's her. It's you're gonna know it's distinct. That's what I'm looking for. Very distinct room. So he found that room. He went straight to that room, and he did what killers do. He got her up out of there first. You feel me? So she got stabbed 28 times. Kaylee got stabbed 30 times. Xana got stabbed 67 times. And Ethan got stabbed 17 times. I mean, this was just crazy. This man, and one thing that I said to myself when I was watching the first episode was that when I heard that he caught 4 bodies, I was like, he was enjoying himself. He enjoyed himself. I guess at a level I can understand people with these types of personalities because I'm similar to him at a level. So, yeah, on some level, I'm pretty similar to these guys. So I'm like, nah, he was enjoying himself. He was having fun. Just really going in. And another reason that I think Buddy was actually targeting Madison is because not only did he go straight to her room and catch her as the first kill, um, when they looked at the body, they said that she had the cleanest wounds on her face. Like she had the cleanest wounds on her. She had a gash under her eye. She had the most precise strikes. You feel me? So it's like he was really being meticulous and careful when he was getting it in with her. Like he really wanted to get her up out of there. Like it wasn't like no and then just go. Hell nah. So yeah, I definitely think he had something personal against her. I think she was not the sweet angel that people try to depict her as. I don't hate these hoes. I just wouldn't be too sad to see him go. I wouldn't be sad at all, actually. I don't care. It seems as though if you're a white female in America, you just, you just get to do what the hell you want. And nah, I ain't with that. Hell nah. You want to be a thought and live alone and never be home and not answer your phone, then you may sometimes end up gone. You feel me? So yeah, it was pretty strange how he skipped over the two rooms that were closest to him, the most convenient for him, went up to the third floor, shot straight to her room, because there was also another person who lived on that third floor, which was Xana and Ethan. And Ethan's not a good protector at all, because Ethan was slumped off of alcohol and he was slumped off of Adderall. So Buddy was out of there. He was double faded. He double crossed himself. And he could not protect him or his woman at all because he was offering them drugs. The drugs are just not what people should be doing at all, like at any level. Oh, and that's another reason I knew that bro was a psychopath. He had a heroin addiction. Like this guy, he had a serious heroin addiction. He's a broken person and he's the result of bad parenting. Kids don't, like, there are parents out here who create bad products for the entire world and then like everybody wants to blame the child. I think Buddy was like 25. He needs to take some level of responsibility, but just even the fact that he grew up as a fat kid, like what? Like his parents didn't make his fat ass exercise? Like, that's insane, isn't it? Like his parents don't even care about him. So yeah, he's the result of terrible parenting. You know what I'm saying? That was another reason I knew he was a psychopath who had like no self-respect and he was internally weak. I mean, getting addicted to heroin, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, it's one thing to get addicted to alcohol. It's one thing to get addicted to sugar. It's one thing to get addicted to weed. But heroin, like, bro, you're an extremist. Like, you're doing way too much, buddy. And clearly he's an extremist. I mean, he took 4 people out. He could have went a little further because Dylan. Oh, let's talk about Dylan. So he looked, apparently according to Dylan, he looked her dead in his eyes when he first came through that crib. And and he just let her slide. You see what I'm saying? He let her run to her room and lock the door. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that is extremely terrifying. Some tall, slender psychopath with a long, like 7-inch butcher knife with a black mask on and black boots on, coming up in y'all's crib ultra disrespectfully, looking you dead in your eyes and allowing you to like go to the room. That's crazy. Like, I know people have experienced this. Like you and your sibling are getting a whooping and you watch them get a whooping first and now you have to, like, that's insane. That's terrifying. And this broad is extremely incompetent. I think I called her incompetent earlier. I definitely did. She's an incompetent. Like, men who have the misfortune of dealing with a broad like this are dealing in pure danger. because she's just not gonna perform how you would want her to perform. You see what I'm saying? Like she's a failure. Oh my gosh, like she is. So dealing with a broad like Dylan, she's gorgeous, but she can only get smashed literally one time. Maybe more than once. But like, there's not gonna be too much dealing with her. You know, like there has to be a very strict, limited amount of time when it comes to dealing with a broad like this because she's a fool, bro. She's incompetent, and she lets her emotions overwhelm her too greatly to the point where she doesn't act how you need her to act. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you have to murder somebody or beat somebody up and you tell her like, hey, like if I gotta do X, Y, Z, like if I gotta punch this guy in the face, like if I ever have to punch somebody in the face, start recording and bag the hell up. Like bag up a lot so you can run if they start chasing you down. Bro, and start recording. She's not gonna do any of that. She's not about to pull her phone out and record. She's gonna forget to record. She's gonna forget to bag up. She's gonna be standing there around there. She's gonna get pieced up. You see what I'm saying? So she's just very incompetent, you know? Like people were saying that, oh, well, actually she out of her mouth said that she didn't call the police. So the murder happened about 5 a.m. They called the police at around 12. Buddy, 7 hours? 7 hours? They were in that room scared as hell. She was underneath that bed like a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like in a situation like this, you can kind of feel when the threat has left. I don't know, it's just something spiritual, something strange about human beings. We can kind of just feel things. I feel like she kind of felt when Buddy was out. Not precisely when he left, but you know. And she was so scared. Bro, she didn't move a muscle for 8 hours, 7 hours. It's like, wow. Like, wow, your friends are in here getting tormented and tortured and brutalized, and you're not doing anything about it. You're not calling the police. You're not backing them up. Like, God damn, women don't have any integrity. And these are the people who want to lead us. These are the people who want us to follow after them. These are the people who want to run a country. How? Your decision making is significantly impaired by your emotions. You cannot control yourself. You can't think straight when them nerves hit. You can't act appropriately when them nerves hit. Shit, I mean, you can be a person who's trained to behave in a scenario like this and still not deliver the goods. I mean, dang, that is crazy. You know, she was saying that she experienced such extraordinary levels of shock that she could not call the police at all. And you know what? I believe it. I definitely believe it. I think she was so scared. She ran underneath that bed after she locked the door, and she stayed there for 8 hours, bro. I mean, God damn, she stayed there for a long time, and she was zero help. I mean, damn. God damn, she's incompetent. And Dylan, if you ever see this, I do want to smash. You hear what I'm saying? I do want to smash, but after that, I gotta dash and then pass, because you're incompetent. Like, dealing with a broad like that is literally dangerous. Do you know what I'm saying?